Good morning, students. Our chapter number 16, Water, a Precious Resource, is going on. In the first period, we learn about which day was celebrated as World Water Day, why we are celebrating World Water Day, the amount of water recommended by United Nations for per person per day. Today, we will see the remaining part of this chapter. Now, see our next point: how much water is available. Look at the picture of the earth taken from the space and why does it appear blue? Surely you can guess. Now see the figure. Earth appears blue from the space. And why earth appears blue from the space? Because of the water which is present on the earth. You are aware about that 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water. We are aware about that. 71% of the earth's surface is covered with the water. Almost all the water on the earth is contained in the seas and oceans, rivers, lakes, ice caps as groundwater and in the atmosphere. We are aware about that almost all the water which is present on the earth is contained in the seas, oceans, rivers, lakes, ice caps, groundwater, and in the atmosphere. However, most of these water is not fit for human consumption. We are aware about that the ocean waters and sea water we cannot use directly for the drinking purpose. That for that reason here it is mentioned most of the water is not fit for the human consumption for human use. The water that is fit for use is called fresh water. The water which is fit for use is fresh water. Perform the following activity to estimate roughly the relative amount of water available in some of these sources, and we have to perform one activity which shows us the relative amount of water available in some of these sources. Now see the activity 16.2. Most of us assume water to be a limitless resource. Most of us we are thinking that water is a limitless resource. Water is a limitless resource. From this activity, can you appreciate the actual amount of water available for human use? From this activity we can appreciate the actual amount. What is the actual amount of water available for human consumption or human use, and does the finding worry you? And after when we find out how much amount of water we can use from the available water, that time we can worry about that and discuss this in your class. Now see the activity. In this activity, 4 steps are there, figures are also mentioned, and remarks are also there. For what, for which step, which remark will be there, we will see in this activity. Now, it is a simple activity. It is a simple activity, but it gives deep message to us. Now see, take a medium size bucket and fill it up with water and fill it up with water. It contains about 20 liter of water. We have to take medium size bucket which can easily contain 20 liters of water. We have to put 20 liters of water in that, and that bucket, that amount of water, it assumes that this water represents all the water present on the earth. जे बादलीमध्ये आपण पाणी घेतोय 20 लिटर, ते काय समजायचं आपण की हे जे अर्थवरती जे सगळं पाणी प्रेझेंट आहे ते पाण्याला त्या कन्सिडर करतोय आपण. We can represent all the water present on the earth which is we are taking in the bucket. Now take a teaspoon of about 5 ml capacity and transfer 100 spoons of water from the bucket to a small container like a bath mug. Now after that we have to take one spoon which contains 5 ml, which has a 5 ml capacity, and we have to transfer 100 spoons of water from the bucket to small container like bath mug. And here the bath mug contains 500 ml water, and this represents fresh water on the earth. And that bath mug which contains 500 ml water, that represents the fresh water, the usable water on the earth. Next, from the bath mug transfer 30 spoons of water to a glass tumbler, and from that bath mug we have to transfer 30 spoons. 30 spoons means 150 ml water to into a glass, and this gives measure of usable water present as groundwater. We are aware about that in the ground also water was present, and which is called as a groundwater. We are using this water by tube wells, bore wells we are using, and this is the 150 ml water which is present in the glass, which shows a groundwater, which shows a total groundwater of the earth. Now at the last, finally, take out a quarter, one fourth part of the spoon of water from the mug. From the mug, we have to take one fourth part of the spoon. One fourth part of the spoon. That much amount of water we have to take, and that amount of water, which represents all the water present in all the lakes, and rivers of the world of the world. Now here this activity was mentioned, and this activity very simple activities I will tell you in Marathi. First, आपल्याला काय करायचं, एक बकेट घ्यायचे, त्यामध्ये 20 लिटर पाणी घ्यायचं, 20 लिटर पाणी घ्यायचं. ते पाणी काय शो करतं की ह्या अर्थवरती जे सगळं पाणी आहे, जे अमाऊंट आहे, जे पाणी आहे, ते पाणी ते शो करतं. एक कन्सिडर करायचं आपण तसं. नंतर त्यामधून काय करायचं, 500 ml वॉटर हे आपण बाथमगमध्ये घ्यायचं आहे. ते काय प्रेझेंट करतं तर फ्रेश वॉटर, युजेबल अमाऊंट ऑफ वॉटर विच इज प्रेझेंट ऑन द अर्थ. ते काय रिप्रेझेंट करतं, युजेबल अमाऊंट ऑफ वॉटर, जे की पाणी आपण यूज करू शकतो. नेक्स्ट, त्या बाथमगमधून 150 ml वॉटर हे ग्लासमध्ये घ्यायचं, आणि ते ग्लासमधलं पाणी काय शो करतं तर ते पाणी शो करतं की ते युजेबल वॉटर ते कुठे प्रेझेंट आहे, अंडरग्राऊंड, जमिनीमध्ये प्रेझेंट आहे, जे की आपण बोरवेलने वगैरे यूज करू शकतो. नंतर लास्ट, त्या मगमधून जो स्पून आहे त्याचा 1/4 पार्ट पाणी घ्यायचं आहे, आणि ते पाणी काय प्रेझेंट करतं तर ते पाणी प्रेझेंट करतं की लेक्स आणि रिव्हर्समध्ये असणारं पाणी, लेक्स रिव्हर्स जे फ्रेश वॉटर आपण यूज करतोय ते असणारं पाणी. ह्या ॲक्टिव्हिटीमधून आपल्याला कळतं की किती अमाऊंट ऑफ वॉटर प्रेझेंट आहे, आणि त्यामधून आपण किती यूज करू शकतो. तर नक्कीच हे काळजीपूर्वक आपण बघितलं पाहिजे की अमाऊंट किती आहे, टोटल अमाऊंट भरपूर आहे, ह्यूज आहे, पण त्याच्यामधून आपण किती यूज करू शकतो. तर it is a very less quantity. Now here see downside. The water left in the bucket represent the saline water present in the seas, oceans, and partially as groundwater. This water is not fit for human use. Now when we are removing 500 ml water, and after that how much amount is remaining in the bucket, that amount of water which present the water which is present in the seas and oceans, and partially groundwater which is not fit for human use. Then the water left in bath mug, after 150 ml water we are removing as a groundwater. The water left in bath mug which present in frozen from the glaciers, ice caps, and permanent snow. Again, it is not available readily. And the water which is present in the bath mug, that shows the water which is frozen in the glaciers, ice caps, and permanent snow, and which is again not readily available. Now from this activity, after this activity, Bojo wondered about the alarmingly small quantity of water available for our use. From this activity we can found that a small quantity of water is available for our use. Paheli quickly calculated and found that this amount is roughly 0.006% all water found on the earth. And Faheli quickly calculated from this activity, and she found that the amount this amount of water is roughly 0.006% of all water found on the earth. Suppose we are considering 100%, from that only 0.006% water we can use, which is available in which we can use in a which is present in a readily available condition, which we can use. Now our next point, forms of water. Are you afraid that continuous use will someday exhaust all the water available for use? Now, after this activity, in our mind, one question will be arises. We will afraid about that. The continuous use. We are using water continuously. Day by day, we are using for the same activities, drinking, washing, bathing. For these activities, we are using water again and again, again and again. And maybe one question will be arises that continuous use of water can exhaust all the water available for for us which we are using. Then we will see about this in this point. You know that water on the earth has been maintained for millions of years by various processes which make the water cycle, and we are aware about the water cycle which we already learned in the 5th and 6th class. You know that water on the earth has been maintained for the millions of years by various processes which make the water cycle, and you have studied water cycle in class 6, right? In your own word that you know about the water cycle, and we already learned the water cycle process in the class 6 also. Suppose you have class 6 science textbook, you can read again, and which process is going on the water cycle, the proper process in water cycle. Now see the next point. You know that when water circulates through the water cycle, it can be found in all these three forms. We are aware about that there are the three forms of the water: solid, liquid and gaseous. They are available in solid, liquid and gaseous state. Now see, at any given time somewhere on the earth, you know that when water circulates through the water cycle, it can be found in all the three forms: solid, liquid and gas. At any given time somewhere on the earth, the solid form, snow and ice is present as ice caps at the poles of the earth, snow covered mountain and glaciers. Now पाण्याचे तीन प्रकार पडतात. पाण्याचे तीन स्टेट्स आहेत. कोणत्या? सॉलिड, लिक्विड आणि गॅसियस. सॉलिड फॉर्म कुठे आढळतो? स्नो आणि आईस, जो की आईस कॅप्सवरती, पोलार रिजनवरती सापडतो, जो की ग्लेसियर्समध्ये सापडतो. तो लिक्विड वॉटर which is present in the ocean, lakes, seas, rivers and even in the underground also. Then the gaseous form is the water vapor which is present in the air around us. There are the three states of the water: solid, liquid and gaseous. Solid state which is available as a snow and ice, which is present in the polar region, ice and snow. Then liquid water is present in the oceans, seas, lakes, rivers and in also underground also. And the gaseous state, which we can say that water vapor which is present in the air, which is present around us. The continuous cycling of water among its three forms keeps the total amount of water on the earth constant, even when the whole world is using it. And this continuous cycling of water among the three forms that keeps us the total amount of water on the earth constant, even when the whole world are using it. And does it give you any relief? Yes, we can get the relief from the water cycle process. Because this cycling process of the water which keeps that three forms of water, total amount of water on the earth constant, while the even whole world was using it. Can you recall the processes involved in a water cycle? The following activity will help you. Now we are aware about that which processes are involved in the water cycle. Now see the activity. It is simple activity. Figure 16.5 shows the process involved in the water cycle. They are labeled by the numbers. Match these numbers with the processes given in the jumbled form. Here 1 to 7 numbers are given and there the words are given, but they are given into the jumbled form and we have to prepare the word from that. The most towns and cities have water supply system. First we will see the figure. water cycle. First name. First one is groundwater. Here it is mentioned. First one is groundwater. Second, evaporation. Third, condensation. Fourth, clouds formation. Fifth, transpiration. Sixth, infiltration. And seventh, precipitation. Now see here in the figure. First one which shows an groundwater. Second one which shows evaporation. Third process which shows condensation. Fourth process, clouds formation. Then fifth one, transpiration. Fifth one, transpiration. Sixth one, infiltration. And seventh one, precipitation. Now here see the point. Most towns and cities have water supply system maintained by the civic bodies. By the civic bodies. The water is drawn from nearby lakes. Water is drawn from nearby lakes, rivers, ponds, or wells. Now we are aware about that in our village or in our town, the water bodies are there. The civic water bodies are there, and these water will be drawn from the nearby lakes, rivers, and ponds or wells, and the water is supplied through the networks of pipes. Many villages do not have such a water supply system, and in our Maharashtra or in our India, many villages are there, they do not have such a water supply system. Their people fetch water directly from the sources. They are getting water directly from the sources like rivers, lakes, ponds, and from the wells. They are getting the water directly from the sources. Often women and children have to walk several kilometers to fetch water. Uh, the people who are living in that particular area, often women and children, they have to walk several kilometers to fetch the water. Now see how lucky we are. We are getting water directly in our home by the taps, by the pipeline. But in some other areas of our Maharashtra or India, there are the people, they are not getting the water. They are not getting water. For that water, they are walking several kilometers to get the water for daily use. The children suffer a lot. They cannot attend the school regularly since they spend hours in fetching water. The children, they are suffering a lot to get the water, and for that purpose they are not attend the school regularly because they are spending their time to fetch the water, to get the water. Women live sorry Women have to perform a number of household chores works. If they have also to spend time to fetch water, it adds to their burden. Now we are aware about that in home, our mother performs many more household activities, many more household works like washing, preparing foods for us. Many more activities are there in our home. But the women who are living in that particular area, they also have many more activities, but they are spending a time to get the water, and it adds the more burden on them. A large number of people draw water from wells, tube wells, or hand pumps. From where do these sources get water? We are aware about that many more people, a large number of the people, they are drawing water from wells, tube wells, or hand pumps. Now, from where do these sources get water? From groundwater. Now, up to this, today we will cover up to this. Remaining part we will see in the next period.